All right, guys, welcome. Tonight's very special for me personally because I've got three of my childhood friends who were born in Dubai, grew up with me in Dubai on this podcast. I'm going to bring their experiences to life, share them with you with a certain purpose. I want you to actually feel what their childhood was like in Dubai. And there's one particular reason as well, other than just listening to their stories, which I'm sure is going to be entertaining for us all. But a lot of people ask me, like, Fahd, what happens when people invest in Dubai real estate? And we know that a lot of people, they feel it's a transient place and people come and go. Let me share this with you. Look, my children are now fourth generation in Dubai, but so my grandfather, father, myself, my children, right? But when my father moved to Dubai, just like you learn about their fathers and their parents, they had this 2 to 3 year vision of making some money and going back home, but they ended up staying much longer. Fast forward to 2006, 7, I was talking to one gentleman from I don't know, I think he was Irish or English. And I talked to him and I asked him, like, do you consider Dubai home for yourself, right? So our parents never considered Dubai home for the longest period of time. This gentleman in 2006, 2007 said to me, I think I consider Dubai home now, right? Fast forward to 2023, not only are people choosing Dubai as a place to work, make money, but as a place to raise a family, as a place where they want to retire, as a place where they want to live long term. Now, a lot of you already know my history, but I want to bring to you each of these nice gentlemen who've, out of the kindness of their heart, have decided to share their time with me and with you guys. I want to hear their stories about growing up in Dubai. Just a little brief introduction of their journey from growing up in Dubai, their study abroad, and then eventually them coming back to raise their families now in Dubai or the UAE. So without further ado, let me start from my right side. Mr. Hadi, drum roll for him. Okay.
First of all,
Bismillah.
Thank you so much, Fahd, for having us. As Fahd has already told you, we are, best friends for like a long time now. I represent K-Town, K-Town being Karama, for those of you who may not know. And I went to States, I don't think about 98, 99. But prior to that, growing up here, with these gentlemen, it was a serene experience just for the fact that so I'm second generation here. So as Fahd said, he's like almost like fourth generation now. So I'm like a second generation here. Now my kids are going to be.
No, my children are fourth generation. So your children are third generation.
Okay. So you were.
So
third.
Grandfather, father, me, man.
Okay, yeah. So I'm second.
I say it like that. My children are fourth.
That's really nice. Okay, yeah, I take that from.
Gives a kick, what I mean. Fourth generation. My children are fourth generation.
4G.
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 Their children will be 5G.
4G, yeah.
Sorry, please continue.
So my children are going to be 3G then.
They are 3G. Yeah, you're 3G already.
Okay,
That's right.
I wanted to be 4G. Anyways, so going back to growing up in Dubai, Dubai has been, it was home. It was home for us growing up.
Did you consider it home while you were growing up?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think it never changed from not being home. Okay. I didn't have a reference point other than just opening a door, sitting next to mom and dad. So that was home, right?
Okay.
So growing up, this was predominantly how I envisioned my home. Then going abroad, so the reality of having us being outside of our home kicked in when we went to the States.
Okay.
I went to the States for some, studied there, and then eventually when I came back, it was interesting because I needed a visa.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So needing a visa was one trait of so my home actually requires me to come back, through other means. I just can't just go, right? So that was a realization. And then eventually when I moved back home, that was surreal as well.
So when you moved back to Dubai?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So because you spent a lot of your childhood growing up in a way abroad, you were molded to someone other than who you were. So like a 2.0, right? So once your 2.0 is formed, you are now, trying to understand what that means, and now you're settling back into what your 1.0 was.
So you studied in New York, right?
Yeah.
Back then, you went in 99, 2000?
Yeah, 99, I think.
When did you come back to Dubai?
2008.
2008.
2008. Yeah, 2008, yeah.
And now you've been living here since then.
Since then, yeah.
Yeah. Was it easy to come back?
No, it
Okay.
was not.
So we'll discuss this.
So coming back home. So let's discuss the first part. I think maybe the introduction is taking a bit longer, but the 1.0, let's just call it, staying here till I actually went abroad. And going abroad was 2.0, and now coming back in was 3.0. So every 1.0 to 2.0, there was a culture shock, right? So you whoa, what just happened? I just went abroad, and now I have to do everything by myself, right? So that happened. Then coming back here was, okay, at that time, West was the thing to be. And then when you're coming back here, you're coming back to the East, so to speak, right? And then at that Middle East.
Okay.
And so once that happened, that was a realization as like, why am I actually doing this?
It's a tough one. Yeah.
It's a tough decision at that time, right? Well, why am I doing this? And then slowly but gradually that settles in. So once you shave off those feathers, I think it's smooth sailing from that point.
So you've been here now since 2008 to now, about 15 years
15
back,
years.
right? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Mr. Asad, Bismillah.
Bismillah. So, Asadullah.
Yeah.
I'm a K-Town brother as well.
Okay,
so
Karama,
I'm a
represent.
Karama boy. So we had Hadi, we had Masood, we had
Masood.
we had so many guys in Karama. Karama was the hood. Where everyone used to-
Karama was the place, yeah.
Karama was the place.
Yeah.
So now we all grew up over here, right?
For
So
those who don't know, everybody shopped in Karama. Like if you grew up in Dubai in the 80s and 90s, you have done some shopping in Karama.
Whatever you may have bought
Yeah.
might have been.
Yeah. Karama was the main, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dubai Mall back
Yeah,
that.
that's a good
time, yeah.
analogy.
good chai.
Good time.
Good
Yeah.
chai.
Chai,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Good
So,
chai.
Sorry, please continue.
outside my home, you look left, you look right. In the initial days, it was all sand.
Right.
And we've all seen that, right? We have seen Dubai being built in front of us.
Yeah.
And now it's the most happening place probably in the world.
Right. Yeah.
And so from here, I went to US to study, West Virginia. And that place was beautiful. That place was... I fell
in
love
the
with that
context
place.
of US, whoever is in US, who is in the audience, you'd think that West Virginia was like the bee's knees of US.
West Virginia was beautiful. West Virginia, Beckley, West Virginia was a small town. It was different from the big cities. It was different from DC, New York, and so on. You had friendly people. You had people who would greet you on the street and say,
Okay.
That's right, New Yorkers, or whoever.
New Yorkers.
New Yorkers.
But when my family visited me, they weren't really impressed. They was like US didn't impress them
Right.
because they were coming from Dubai, and we've all been in Dubai. Dubai was growing, happening, lively, malls, all that. So it didn't really impress. So there was that family pressure to come back.
Okay.
And then there was the family love to come back as well because they wanted me to be back with them. So those were some of the motivations to come back. So at that time, career was not a motivation, right?
Because the career was not motivation moving
I
back. Yeah.
probably wasn't even thinking.
It wasn't for
career
me
wise.
either, by the way.
Yeah,
To move back
because-
to Dubai, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
Actually, if you look back, and I'll come back to this point, but we want to take Saadi's introduction in as well. Career was not for me, and I'll come back to this. Even though it would appear it was. But I want you to finish your intro, and then we move to
So my culture shock when I went outside and when I went to US wasn't culture shock. It was environmental shock. Was the snow. So I was in West Virginia, and the snow and the cold. For the first year, it took me a full 1 year to adopt.
mashallah.
When I came back in 2003. It took me 1 year to adapt back
To the hot weather.
The first year, I had sweat beads rolling my back. I'd forgotten about living over here. But once I was back,
Right.
since family was here, since friends was here, and most of the people I knew or my friends that I knew,
Right.
they were coming back. It created an environment that fostered that, okay, let's just continue something over here and keep going.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. Brother Saudi.
So, firstly, thank you for inviting us for the podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Pleasure. Sadi, I've obviously been with you guys for a very long time. I am not a K-Town person. Okay,
You're an R-Town.
I belong. So my earliest memories of Dubai
Ah.
are of a place that no longer exists on the map of Dubai. Right. So we used to live in this place called Medina, which was very
Right.
close to the airport, and it was I would say, very leafy place, considering there was all sand, as Asad said.
Right.
But it was a very peaceful place, and I have amazing memories of that place. Very simple living as well. And I think those memories stuck. And my kids say, and my wife says, those memories are so ingrained, you don't have space for more memories.
Right.
You can't build new memories.
Are you
Just keep
reminiscing
going.
a lot? Are you?
Yeah, I do. So, we don't have our phones, but I've actually kept photos of Medina Badr the way it was, back
I
then.
got to see that.
Really?
And it's amazing. Yeah, they're almost black and white. I mean,
No, they can't be black and white.
No,
You're not that old.
they're
He's not that old.
They're sepia. Huh?
Yeah, they're
He is
They've
not
lost
that
the
old.
color.
yeah,
They wasn't lost their color.
they're
Washed
sepia
out.
tone. They're not colored photos anymore.
Just
But-
for the listeners,
Yeah.
that place, from a real estate perspective, has a new development. If you want to buy there, get in touch.
And it's called Medina Badr, right?
Yeah, it's called
called
Medina
Medina
Badr.
Badr,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
owned by
exactly.
Dubai Islamic Bank. It's a great place to live, by the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
very nice place. From Medina Badr, I had a stint. We went for a certain period back to Pakistan, and we
Right.
came back, and then we stayed near in Dera,
Right.
in Clock Tower,
Yeah, near Clock Tower.
near Clock Tower,
Yeah.
Brigga Road, Maktoum Street, and Brigga Road. But Karama was the place to be, right? So Karama and Qasais, there were two developments
Right.
that I think were commissioned by Sheikh Rashid, may Allah have mercy on him,
Yeah.
I mean,
and they were developed for the expat population that had come to Dubai. But they were, amazing memories of those places,
Yeah.
and inshallah, I think we'll talk about them as well in a bit. And then I stayed in Dubai. I think we did our A levels, and then I joined KPMG, and then you guys went abroad and left me on my own for the most part.
Right.
But then I had a stint in the UK. So left in 2000.
How long were you in the UK? 7 years? 8 years?
13 years.
13. Wow.
yeah, so you
12,
left us
13
then.
years.
That's a
Wow.
long time.
I
bro.
think he started work much before we did, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
go to uni.
He,
Yeah,
he
I
was
joined
performing like
KPMG.
child labor
Yeah,
back in the day. Like dad said, "Go work, son. Get some money."
I love
No,
you,
no.
KPMG.
Implications.
Well, we didn't have to mention KPMG, but
So that's true. Actually, I started working when I was 17.
yeah, bless you. Hey, I was working at 16, but not as serious as you were. I was a camp counselor for 3 months.
Oh yeah.
I was
That's
handling kids and babies.
I was a photographer. No, not a photographer. I was
What age?
You know the person who what do you call those
DJ?
people who? No. Yeah, photocopy machine operator.
Oh,
true.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
right. Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. 15 years old.
Nice one.
Oh, really? I
At
didn't
least
know
you got a
this.
degree out of that, right?
Did I?
I mean,
Oh, you don't get a degree. Huh?
I was destined
On
to be
the
a
side.
DJ maybe.
No.
It didn't work out either.
Okay, well, let's be nice to him and let
No,
him
yeah,
finish.
please, I'm sorry.
yeah. No, so
Bless
that's it. I mean, I was in the UK for 12, 13 years,
Right,
and then that was for work.
right.
And then I came back in 2018,
Bless you.
2017.
17.
Yeah, 2017.
17 August.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the story. And then I think we'll share experiences.
I want to share something with the listeners. Do you know His Highness Sheikh Rashid Rahimullah, when he had Al Shab Colony, Qusais, Karama, and I think Satwa as well. Do you know why he had this built? One of the reasons.
I think it was for affordable housing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So when rents went up, like Dubai's had this up and down situation, right? Because Dubai is a trading hub. It attracts more people coming in. Rents shoot up. All of a sudden, what happened? All the expat community, Pakistanis, Indians, Egyptians, they couldn't afford. They started sending families back home. Now, not only like this is why Dubai is still today this family culture, right? We're not Ibiza, Cancun, those places where it's cheap drinks and parties and those kind of things. More conservative. You come here with the family, you grow a family, right? So His Highness Sheikh Rashid, I think one of the things he wanted to think was like, if I've got all these people sending their families back home, and they are here on their own, as there's nothing wrong with living on your own as a bachelor, but there's no family orientation, right? You give rise to a lot of other things. So he said, okay, introduce this. But subhanAllah, this is the forward thinking of the leaders here. The side effect is people stay here, they use the schools. Schools employ teachers. Teachers then go and rent other places. Then they spend money in the malls.
It's a whole ecosystem now.
The ecosystem, like it's a healthy ecosystem. It's not about, hey, I'm just gonna push you, go and spend so we can make more money. No, it's about giving you an opportunity to raise a family here in a fairly decent way, and then you just give back to the economy, right? One of the things that I want to mention to the listeners as well, you remember back in the day, everybody in Dubai saved and then made a home back home.
Yeah.
Post 2000, a lot of people aren't saving tons of money. Like they end up spending in Dubai. But Dubai did not tax you. They didn't say, okay, like, how do we stop these people from taking money out and then make them use their money? They just gave you opportunity. Better schooling, better healthcare, better entertainment, better parks, staycations. Just go. If you want to spend. You don't want to, it's up to you.
Our rent in Karama for a very long time
God bless you.
was 8,000 dirhams
Yeah.
a year.
For a 2-3 bedroom, 1 bedroom, 2
It
bedroom.
was a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Because it was rent capped.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
even
important, yeah.
the 2005, 6, 7, 8 time when rents were going crazy, they didn't push those rents up, right? The government didn't do that, right?
Yeah.
You were not there.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
that time.
We had moved down.
Okay.
Moved on.
I mean, I think our building complex was called 7,000 building. Wasn't it?
Okay,
So-
yours?
Yeah. So it was called 7,000 because that was the rent.
Oh, cool. Okay, I never knew that. That's so
Yeah.
cool. So we had Pioneer building
Yeah.
at 7,000. We had Brown building at it.
Yeah,
Our
okay,
area
yeah.
was
Okay,
called Brown building.
I want to ask you guys,
Majlis
okay.
Al-Amar.
Part of your introduction, you explained why you moved back, but maybe perhaps just share with us, the listeners as well, what is it that you missed about Dubai? And then also what caused you to come back? You said family, but is there something specific that you missed about Dubai while you guys were away? UK, US. I was in Canada.
Yeah, look, I mean, so I'll
Go ahead.
I'll
We
start.
can start from there now.
I think growing up in Dubai,
Dubai. Perfect.
Yeah.
it is
That's how it is. That's a debate.
It is Dubai.
It's home.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah.
In Dubai, huh? You're a British guy from Dubai.
Abu Dhabi knows.
Abu Dhabi?
Abu
Yeah,
Dhabi.
okay. Abu
Um,
Dhabi.
But what I was saying was that I think Dubai protected us as individuals,
Yeah.
and then obviously as kids as well. You know, I mean, there's so many stories of us just walking on the streets of Dubai. And Dubai used to be a small place, right? So before we started this, I was having a look at the numbers. In 1995, the total population of Dubai was 325,000 people.
19?
95,
300,000 people?
325,000 people.
Wow.
And you know what it is today, 2023, 3 million. So it's grown.
It's 10 time growth.
Yeah, multifold, right? So
It's 10
It-
time,
so it's
Mr. Accountant.
Get your numbers right.
No, it is 10 time, isn't it? 300,000
You
into
get
10 is
your
3
multiples.
million.
It is,
Okay.
It is.
Math hai yaar, koi baat nahi.
But what I'm saying is that it was a small city. It was a
Right.
simple city, and
Yeah.
it was very secure, and it protected us and as kids as well. So you remember when we walked from my place,
Yes.
Maktoum Street,
Yeah.
across Maktoum Bridge
Yeah, yeah,
over
yeah.
to Lusser Cinema, which
Yeah.
no longer exists.
No longer exists.
And it was perfectly fine. It was perfectly safe as well. So that was one thing.
It's still safe.
Still safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can still
absolutely
walk
But what I'm
anywhere.
saying is, to your question, that what you miss about Dubai is, I miss the simplicity, I miss the security, I suppose. Even the lifestyle that Dubai had to offer, it was a very easy lifestyle. I mean, you could get by with very little money or income. And, anywhere else you'd go, I mean, I haven't been to the US, right? But the UK, for instance, you have to work hard to make a living. You know, you have to struggle and strive. That bit, I guess I'm being a bit lazy, but you know, you did miss that about Dubai.
Yeah. Is it? Sorry, guys. I want to indulge him a little bit more on this. Like, is it really like you've got to work harder in the UK?
I mean, it depends on which city you're in, right?
Yeah,
So if you're in
okay.
London, if you're in financial services,
Right.
you know, if you're working for a bank, it's very competitive.
Why do they build it like that? Why do they build that system like that?
No, but it's I guess what's the word? Meritocracy.
No. Hold on.
So-
But see, Dubai is going the other way. 4-day weekend, 4.5-day weekend. I think maybe 3-day weekend bhi aa jayegi. Like Sharjah is like 3-day weekend. No, sorry, 3-day weekend,
3-day
right?
3-day
Sorry, not a
weekend.
4-day weekend, 4.5-day
Week.
working week.
And
Working.
Abu Dhabi Federal has the option now of a 4-day.
4 day. Yeah.
4-day. You just work longer hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 hours a day.
10 hours.
Yeah, so you do your 40 hours.
So
It's-
I
it's
think
a-
this is
exactly,
good news,
it's
by
a
the way.
maximum of 10. It could be less as well.
Yeah.
But this is good, huh? Alhamdulillah.
No, alhamdulillah.
This is
yeah.
very good. Like,
It's very
there's, I don't know, is it written anywhere that you've got to work 6 days to economically grow?
In fact, there are researches that the more off time you have,
Right.
it's better for the ecosystem as well, because then people go out and they do spend as well. So it's not just all work.
Yeah.
right?
So,
Right, right.
Because
so
when
the
you-
whole notion of like work-life balance is what you're saying. right?
work-life balance, and it's good for the economy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, did I cut you off? Or were you almost?
No, I was just saying, look, I mean, the way I think the West operates, and some parts of the West, you know, I'm
Right.
not generalizing, but, you know, bigger cities, New York, Chicago, London, they attract talent across the world, and everybody's there to prove a point.
Right.
So you're trying to outdo each other because you're going for, you know, worldly success, I guess.
Yeah.
And so it's just people are just running and rushing.
We're going to talk about professional differences you guys found, because some of us have worked over there and some of us did not. Okay, what did you miss about Dubai, if I may ask you?
Sure. So for me, it was home, right? We grew up here.
Okay.
It was home. So
Did you consider Dubai home for you?
Oh,
ever?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Home,
yeah.
home.
home,
Okay.
home. So
Home.
I wanted to come back home.
Okay.
Coming back to my actual house,
Right.
that was one amazing experience.
Right. Okay.
Dubai is very clean compared to some of
Yeah.
the
So you missed that?
Yeah. Even back
The
then.
cleanliness.
Yeah,
the
it's true.
cleanliness.
यार एक मिनट, you know what?
You
Hollywood
don't
movies में जो नजर आता था ना, the first time I landed in Newark, New Jersey, I was like, I get
the
here. Where am I?
Yeah.
The
I'll-
electric cables are all over the place. Over here,
Yeah.
you don't see electric
No,
cables.
but
They're all
I
on the
had this
ground.
pristine image of like, wow, like
The most-
Like
Gale-
the
Gale
movies,
one,
right?
that
Like-
same
Yeah.
thing. Same thing.
Yeah,
The most recent feedback on New York has actually been quite, well, not very positive, including the smells and the sights. And subhanAllah, you go here in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, wherever you go, you actually get good smells. Like wherever you go
Yeah.
in buildings or in malls and stuff,
Alhamdulillah.
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 So, yeah.
Oods in the bad. And
Alhamdulillah.
Fahd, one more thing. You can get economical things over here, and you can get luxurious things over here.
Yeah.
I could eat my fill in 5 to 10 dirhams.
Still, you still can actually.
Still
Alhamdulillah.
can, right?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah.
And I could get the most luxurious thing here as well.
That 5 to 10 dirhams will still get you wholesome food. You're not eating like something really bad nutritionally. Like, where could you go? To the cafeteria? The
yeah.
Malbari Brothers cafeteria?
Oh yeah.
They have fish, they have chicken, they got rice, they got paratha, they got egg.
And
Right.
you want to spend a little
Maybe
bit more?
that egg's not
go
grain-fed egg, but
Go to some darbar restaurant. Some darbar.
some
Karachi
darbar,
darbar.
Sarhad darbar.
Sarhad
That's the
darbar.
Pakistani option of like
So
really.
many darbars. No.
But that food is like wholesome, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're not getting like really bad food. It's like good, decent quality food. Okay, it's not grain-fed, organic meat, but
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So you missed the cleanliness, yeah.
Sorry, can I add to that story, please?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so in Al Shahab colony, if
Yeah.
you guys remember that Turkish restaurant?
Yeah, we were
that-
talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Oh,
The big bun
burger.
for 5 dirhams. The big burger.
Yeah, they used to call it the Turkish burger.
Why
And
did
for
they go
f-
away,
And for
man?
5 dirhams, they used to sell this beast of a burger, right?
Yeah.
So I think the gentleman used to bake his own bread
Yeah,
and
yeah,
make his
yeah.
own burger
Fit in.
patty as well,
Yeah.
and just fill it up with French fries and coleslaw and stuff.
Yeah. I've had it only once,
It was huge.
and I couldn't finish
Maybe
it.
it was
No,
our
I
perspective
never-
at that time. It was just it was big.
No,
No,
It was big.
That thing
I
was
want to
big.
see it now. You know,
Yeah, so they
that's the thing. I want to see now.
Well, Google it. Did you have it back then?
I did,
ever?
of course.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it back then.
No, it was
I
too
think
big.
I was like
too
13,
big for
14
5
when I
dirhams.
had it. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
so
Which-
big.
Humongous.
dirhams.
Which reminds me, halal food. Oh man, that
Oh,
was,
yeah.
that was
Oh,
one more
okay.
reason.
Yeah, did you miss that?
Oh, I did, of course. I'm
Oh,
a
no.
foodie, right? So halal food. That
Oh,
was something
mashallah.
to come
Okay,
back,
Mr. Hadi.
And when I came back, the shawarma was the
Yeah.
first thing I. Everyone, I think that's everyone's case,
Shawarma
right?
here is not the
No,
same
no,
anywhere
okay.
else, man.
Yeah,
One story,
Yeah, okay,
please.
you
Sorry,
got
Hadi.
good shawarma in the
you guys are
UK.
covering
So-
majority of the points. So go ahead.
You know, the first time I went to the UK,
Yeah.
right, 2005, came back in 2006, whatever. The first time I came back after that stint in the UK, and I was just, looking for halal food, obviously, right? So
Right.
you're kind of halal food starved a little bit.
Right.
So we went to Burger King with the family, the mom and dad, and brother,
Yeah.
and they, as usual, whatever they say, what do you want? I said, give me the biggest burger you have, right? And this girl goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm definite. Yeah. So they had the double whopper,
Right.
and like all the other stuff.
Yeah.
She said we have a triple whopper.
Oh,
I'm like-
I didn't know that.
No, so it's not on the menu. So I said, where's it on the menu? She said, it's not on the menu.
It's a secret
We'll make it for you. I'm like, make it. So I had a triple whopper.
Right, extra patty.
Triple. Oh, it was unbelievable.
Mashallah.
Yeah. That's it. Sorry. Khalid.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
good.
yeah. So, what did I miss the most? I think you guys covered majority of the things, but what I specifically missed the most was the simplicity. The simplicity of life, and it was just because even if you now go abroad, even though their life may seem from their perspective simple, when we come back here, this is our madness, our mess seems simple. So that's the main thing, apart from all the things that you guys have already discussed.
Right. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And halal food, yes. Driving, not so much, because I think at that time driving was the worst thing.
We're here.
Yeah, I mean,
What's so bad about driving in Dubai? People complain. I don't get
No,
it.
it used to be different.
Used to be
so
different.
Western model or
Yeah, yeah.
mannerisms are different, or used to be different
Yeah.
from the local
I
ones.
used to get
When
really
you came
vexed.
back and you started
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
here,
yeah,
so
yeah.
if that was the case, then it would be the same now. Like what? All of a sudden,
No.
people became big.
No.
good
So
drivers.
at that time, I think the rules weren't as
Strict?
Strict. Now they are. Okay, you have radars at about every kilometer.
For some reason, driving doesn't perturb me.
No, but so
In Dubai-
to Hadi's point, actually, that's a
Alhamdulillah.
very important point, and I think it reflects on Dubai government's will to keep improving itself and its systems
Right.
and processes, because you remember the old taxis
Oh yeah.
that we had in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah. So
They had three options for you.
5 dirham to anywhere in Dubai.
No. That was Sharjah.
that was.
No.
No, in it,
Back in the day, did you have that in Dubai? 5 dirhams to anywhere.
So it was very cheap. No, but the challenge
it
was
10 dirhams, wasn't it?
Okay. It was 5 dirham.
wherever my reach took me.
No, but there was 5 dirham buses that used to go from Dubai to Sharjah.
No, that's much later.
Was
Much later, brother. That's like when RTA already was formed in 2008. They introduced the shuttle service. Before that was the 1 dirham or 2 dirham, 3 dirham
1 dirham
taxis.
50
Oh,
filled.
the-
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
tax.
yeah.
Okay.
The
The
taxis,
taxi-
they would take you from the Sharjah border to the Dubai border, Al Mullah Plaza. Or to the.
I remember.
It was
that.
sharing
Okay, yeah.
taxis.
Sharing taxi. No, that's different though. I'm not talking about sharing taxi.
वो shuttle तो बहुत बाद में आई है. That the RTA was already established, and RTA got established 2005-06. Then they had that proper shuttle service
Are
running
you
for 5
sure?
dirhams.
Because we had
between Dubai and
proper
Sharjah.
dubbas going, man. We had dubbas going. Those weren't
Not for
RTA.
5 dirhams. 5 dirhams was too much back then. What are you talking? 95? 90s?
there was some transportation, but inter-emirate transport, Gobeba bus station and Sabqa. And
Like the taxis, wasn't it?
Oh man, you're
yeah.
reminding me of amazing stuff. Because
Yeah.
I used to sometimes go to school in these Dubai municipality buses. 1 dirham 50 fills. If I'm not mistaken, route number 55
Wow.
from Karama, opposite gate of Karama restaurant. It'll drop you at Rashid Hospital.
That's right.
Yeah, me
You
too.
just walk a little
You and I
bit,
did
go
that.
to school.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I used to take bus number 3,
Yeah, me too.
the Gusais, because it passed through Rikka,
Yeah, that's right.
passed through Clock Tower. Fun fact, did you guys know? So Clock Tower, show the viewers a picture of the Clock Tower. Do you know what the Clock Tower actually is? A design. Do you know what it copies? The Clock Tower. You grew up next to Clock Tower, right?
Yeah.
Have you? Do you know what it actually looks like? Do you know what it actually copies?
Is it
like,
a sale?
So we know like
I don't know, so
Burj Al Arab is a sail, right?
I don't know actually. No, that's a
Burj
good
Al
point.
Arab is a sail, right? You guys
Yeah,
know this, right?
Looks like a compass, no?
If I tell you guys, you will figure it out.
Maybe.
The Dera clock tower, right?
When was it built?
So, okay, so what does it represent? Here, give it to Sadi as well so he can see it.
It's like a mihrab.
What's a behrab? What's a behrab?
Mihrab. You know, like
Okay,
you know what you have in the mosques and archways.
okay.
I have no
Show
idea
a
what it
picture to the
represents,
people.
man.
Do you know what it is?
What is
It's
it?
actually, I think it's not it is. My dad was an engineer, worked with the Dubai Military. It's the design is a pelican with its mouth open.
Is it? Pelican.
You know, one of those.
That's
sea-
how a
Yeah,
pelican
yeah,
looks.
Yeah, the pelican. Yeah.
the beak, the beak.
Yeah,
The beak.
Yeah.
How would anybody know?
Well,
Would you know?
the person who
Use the
designed
imagination.
it,
Okay.
the person. No, it is, guys.
And so
Hey, viewers, what do you guys think?
Beak facing.
Samajh
up,
de
I'm
hain
assuming.
yaar. Look at this. Like he's got
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
face
can see it.
open. But did you guys know? So Omega's sponsoring the clock. Did you guys know in the 90s, the entire clock tower was teared down and built up again? Do you guys remember? There was this 6 months to 1 year period.
Yeah.
It was completely covered.
Yeah.
It was torn down, built up again.
it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Dad was with Dubai municipality, so I
Oh,
knew.
you knew.
I didn't know it at that time. I think I asked him like later.
I thought they refurbished it. I didn't realize they'd actually bring the whole thing down. And
But
bring it up
okay,
again.
maybe refurbishing included bringing it down. I
maybe-
don't know
maybe.
exactly what happened.
But you know, so
but
there
they
used to
didn't-
be like 3 major roundabouts in Dubai.
I know the
Name them.
flame,
Flame.
All right.
fish,
That's it.
Oh yeah.
flame
that was-
roundabout,
and-
fish town, right?
and
And
clock
clock tower.
No, there was another one. Sorry, 4th. In Dubai.
Which one?
In-
Barnum?
in-
Strand Cinema.
No.
No.
Falcon Roundabout.
Falcon.
Falcon
Just opposite
roundabout.
Rashid Fort.
Did it have a falcon on it?
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
a
it
falcon.
did have a falcon.
The falcon's no longer there, right?
No. So they removed all the roundabouts except for Flame, which they moved to opposite.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah, that's
Just
what
for
it
the
was.
viewers, flame roundabout signifies the discovery of oil in the UAE,
yeah.
right?
And
And it
there
used
was
to always have a flame,
flame, yeah,
burning
that's
there.
right, yeah.
I don't think it has a flame now.
No, I don't think.
No, I don't.
I think they replaced it with a fake flame for a while, and now it's not there. I don't think people know where the flame roundabout is
Yeah.
now. Nobody.
It's
When I
a-
pass by, I sometimes tell people who are new to Dubai, tourists, friends, that is flame roundabout. Nobody's interested.
No,
in
you
that
know
one.
they should. I think it should be considered. It's actually a historical, kind of a what's the term? Structure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
clock tower. So
Yeah.
it should actually be made known that flame
Right,
roundabout and
right.
clock tower.
We should have like a UNESCO ruling to protect it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. UNESCO, if you're listening.
Flame, fish roundabout is still there.
Was it?
Yeah, it is.
No.
Fish roundabout is still there.
I don't know actually.
It is. I've seen it like some years
Yeah.
ago.
Can we?
Yeah, clock
can
tower
we
is
see
still
the
there.
fish?
Yeah, two fish.
Yeah, 2 fish.
two
Yeah,
fish.
It was
like
2 fish.
Pisces.
Can we see? Oh, well, I need to go
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, we can go there.
And
after.
Falcon roundabout is gone.
The Falcon's
completely.
gone. Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't remember Falcon.
I think that was the first one to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Falcon
Yeah,
was the
because
first
they needed a junction
Yeah.
there.
Hmm.
But yeah, sorry, one more thing that I was just going to talk about. You know, the question that you asked, what you missed about Dubai,
Yeah.
the sound of the adhan as well, by the way.
That you don't recognize it until you come back. Did you have that feeling while you were in the
You
UK?
kind of feel it
Huh?
sometimes because you don't have that infrastructure
Right.
You know, and you're looking for it sometimes.
Right.
Maybe depends on your level of iman, I guess. But sometimes you miss it.
Yeah, absolutely correct,
yeah,
man.
right.
That is true.
Very right.
You know, I want to share this with you guys and the viewers as well. I didn't consider Dubai home, to be honest with you. Born here, raised here, grew up here. I don't know. I didn't consider, Dubai is my home. Family's here. Even now, like, okay, Dubai is Dubai. It's the place I live. Alhamdulillah, fine. But one of the things that I distinctly remember when I moved to Canada in 2000, and I started telling people like, I'm from Dubai. They like look at me like, where are you from? Where? Iraq, Saudi Arabia, in that region. Then they're looking, is it safe to live in Dubai? Like, where do you live? I think this is true for most of us. Like when we went abroad, we didn't tell people we were from the UAE. We said we're from Dubai, right? By 2007, Dubai's brand had gone Dubai was already growing, and people think it's only a 20-year-old story. It's not. It's like a 45-year-old story. Like my grandfather was here. Our parents were here. But by 2006-07, it was like this tipping point. Like in Canada, if I told people like I'm from Dubai, they'd look at me like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" isn't Dubai the place where there's beaches, sands, and all of that? Like, you should go there. So alhamdulillah, I ended up moving back.
In the 80s,
Yeah.
there were dramas and maybe even movies in India and Pakistan about Chalo Dubai Chalo.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
So
it
they
was
were the
there. It was
booms.
there.
They were the
Yeah, yeah.
Dubai booms were there,
Yeah.
and I think those were the boom times. And then the early 2000s was another construction boom.
I guess
especially with
I guess
the-
you could say that's like the movement east to west. So for example, if it's like Pakistan or India, they have those type of movies. They're just gradually moving towards the west.
I think Dubai was popular with a certain part of the world from way before,
Mm.
right? The currency was the Indian rupee, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of trade happening with India, and a lot of people wanted to come from these countries to the Gulf region and
Right.
to Dubai. But you're right. So just sharing another anecdote. So my father went to Germany to attend an exhibition.
What year?
Somewhere in the 1990s, early 1990s. And I think it was Dusseldorf or Frankfurt, one of those places. And he stayed at this place as a paying guest.
Right. Yeah,
right?
I know this
which is
story. Yeah.
fairly common. And he came back and he was saying, I struggled to explain where I lived to this. to
This is the 90s.
This is the 1990s. Yeah,
1990s.
exactly.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
And exactly to what you said, he had to bring in other countries and regions to kind of explain his general proximity.
Geographical.
Yeah.
Well,
And they
that
just
is-
they had no idea where Dubai was.
So this was true up until I could say whenever I was with vendor meetings.
Right.
Up until 2019, they used to regard Abu Dhabi as being some other country.
Oh yeah.
So, they're like, oh, you can drive to Dubai? It's like, oh, yeah, oh, same country. They're like, oh, same country.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that concept, so Dubai has always has had its own identity as being, some other type of paradigm.
Pre-1971, you needed a visa to go to Abu Dhabi, right? From Dubai. If you landed in Dubai, like my father has that.
Really.
Yeah, if you needed to go to, but it was a very quick thing apparently. Like
I hear there was a checkpoint.
there was a
apparently.
check
was a
post
checkpoint, yeah.
there. You needed a visa because he was here pre-71 because my grandfather was here. So you needed a visa, and apparently, like they were informed last minute, but it was easy to get. It wasn't something complicated. Quick question for you guys: do you know in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE has 7 emirates, right? Do you know which emirate had the first airport?
Let me guess.
I think he
Let me
knows.
guess. No, you go ahead.
Go on.
No, you had your hand up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll say
On
it,
the
I'll say
game
it.
master.
No, I'll say
Hadi,
it,
Hadi,
I'll
Hadi.
say it, I'll say it. No, you say it.
Say it.
Okay, Sharjah.
Yeah. It was
Sharjah.
Did you know about that? You had a
I'm not sure.
fair, fair
I
idea.
have to guess.
The only reason why I know it is because the Faisal Masjid,
Yeah.
I think it still has some of the runway parts, or the road is still part of that. It's still the original runway
Where?
around Faisal Masjid.
Where is Faisal Masjid? In Sharjah?
In Sharjah.
Yeah, Faisal Mosque. Near Rolla, on your way to Rolla. But I think the airport.
Hold on.
near
The airport was there?
The airport was near the cinema. Where there used to be.
Oh, so
Sharjah
so Sharjah had an airport, but that airport moved to
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it is
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was always there.
No,
Oh no! The
I didn't
old
know.
airport. You could actually see the control tower up till for a very long time, and then they just took the control tower down as
Oh,
well.
really?
At one point, yeah. But
Oh, I
if
didn't
you
know.
His Highness Sheikh Mohammed's autobiography, Ma Qissati,
Yeah.
actually he talks about the
Yes.
story where Dubai got permission from the UK government
Right, to
build
open
the
it.
airport
Yes,
in
yes.
Dubai.
Thank you very much. Yes, I've read that book actually. It's a very good book. Maybe that's the book we should have gifted to them instead of but it's a very good
It's
book.
a very good book.
It's a very good book because His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum went with Sheikh Rashid
Yes.
on a delegation, but it was the crucial states, and the United Kingdom or the Great Britain was responsible. So one of the things that they wanted to do on that trip was to get permission for another airport. That was a big deal for them. Like,
Yeah.
we want an airport. Can you imagine? Subhanallah, the times of the times. Like, they had to go there, get permission. Like, we're gonna open an airport over here. Let's talk professionally, if you want to. Okay, what's the difference, Sadi? I think you might have worked the longest abroad.
Yeah.
Perhaps you, and then you, and then you. I didn't work that much. I spent about 2 years, perhaps, doing some stuff with some startups and then real estate. How have you felt the difference professionally working in the UK under His Majesty's?
Yeah.
Her.
Oh, I was
Her
working under Her Majesty.
Her-
Oh,
The-
sorry.
the
Yeah,
times
back
have
then
changed.
it was Her Majesty. Yes.
Um,
And in Dubai now.
So, look, I mean, there's two elements to it, right? So one is my comparison between what was in Dubai and compared to the UK, and what is now, right? So there's obviously a significant time difference. So when I went to the UK, so the first thing I'll say is I didn't go for money because I mean the structure is such that I think that the Western countries promote the middle class, right? So, you're taxed enough not to, go or climb that ladder very quickly.
Right.
But so professionally, though, there was a lot of growth, right? So the work culture and the work ethic and the professionalism and the actual technical growth, right, in terms of regulation, in terms of innovation, that is very high paced and that is substantial. So that's why you have people. I mean, this is my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's why you have people like rushing around all the time. It's just there's so much going on professionally that you're struggling to keep up, right?
It's like ants
Yeah.
in their colony. नहीं है sir?
Yeah. If you're done, I have some.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he's
please, yeah.
done.
Counterpoints.
I'm done.
Lay it down, Asad. Bismillah.
Look, my first job outside was a Subway sandwich artist. Right. So
Where,
was the
in
odd
New
job.
York or somewhere, West
Art-
Virginia.
in
Did you
Beckley,
call
West
yourself an
Virginia.
artist?
Yeah.
It was called a
I've
Subway
done that as
sandwich
well.
artist. You've
Yeah,
done that as
for
well,
9
right?
days.
For 9 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine wasn't.
lost in
my
9
stint
days.
wasn't too long as well. So then
Weren't
I
you like a
did my-
facilitator? Because the person who's ordering is the artist, really. Why would you be the artist?
It's a philosophical.
Yeah, and I think you should ask that
Deep-
for the
deep-
Subway
I'm
CEO. That's not mine. Now,
You raised a good point, by the way.
Something you guys probably didn't know. I did my internship in Blacksburg, Virginia,
Right.
in Nanocom, a software development firm,
Right.
where our EMS colleague Masood used to work.
Right.
Sorry, not Masood. His brother, his elder brother,
Oh, yeah,
Paul
Paul.
used to work.
Oh.
Okay.
And
What was his real
so,
name?
Nazmul.
Nazmul.
Okay. no.
Nazmul.
Nazmul
So
Paul.
I did software development over there with him.
He might not
That-
like you mentioning his real name.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing.
No,
Sorry,
no,
Nazmul.
no, that-
I mean, Paul.
Great guy. So
Okay.
that I've worked in the Department of Justice in West Virginia over there as well, and then I worked in Texas, Tel Vista. They were the tech support for QuickBooks.
Right.
Now, I love the American work culture.
Work culture.
I mean,
yeah.
it's honest. It's something else. It's amazing. Trainings are provided. You have a very relaxed environment as well to work. To be honest, I think there are some work culture wise things that could be imported over here better. Now I've heard recently that's not the case. Recently it's getting a little bit more hectic, more pressure, more work required, especially when you need two incomes to sustain yourself. But my experience has been really good, and I think some of those experiences, work experiences, professional experiences could be imported to Dubai.
We're doing that, right? Aista aista kar. Like companies here are doing that. No? No? You don't think
I
that?
think
I don't think
those
so. No.
that import happens by people who go and you work there and get some experience and then they come back.
And they
So
apply
that's
it.
the only, that's
Yeah,
the
and
part,
if
that's
they're
the-
allowed to apply it. That's
Wait. Here's the thing, though, right? Asad, like for instance, now you work there, right? Now you're here, you're a manager, and you're managing a team, right? Big, small, doesn't matter, but you're managing a decent amount of people. You are bringing those values back with you, right?
Yeah.
So you would be implementing at least, okay, let's not say 100%, but you might be unconsciously implementing 10%.
I'm
Yeah,
attempting
15, yeah.
to implement all
by
of it. Yeah,
default, I
yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those, but you'll not have that same category across, right? You'll have a lot of people coming in from Pakistan, from India, from
Here.
other places, from here who've been
Right.
born here and stayed over here. So they are not exposed to the American work culture.
Right.
And I would, generally speaking, I would like them to be exposed, and I would
Right.
like them to bring back that culture over here, because I think that's going to be very useful for the Dubai economy.
So
You probably agree, right? You've worked there.
so yeah, okay. So I worked in quite a few organizations there, big ones. So I worked at Kaiser, and I worked at Kaiser Permanente, and I worked at Stanford Hospitals and Clinics. Both of those organizations, I can say that, they were very good because they focused on employees. Basically, that's what you're saying. Their main focus is, okay, how do you keep the employee engaged, right? And one of the things that in order to do that, what they did was, okay, how can I make their job description so that they just do this, right? So they're like tunneled, so to speak, right? So if you go now and if you look at those organizations, I felt that their employees are very tunneled, like tunnel vision. This is what I do. This is what I know.
In the US.
In the U.S.
Okay.
But now here, the contrast here, though, so is that we learned how to do blitz work, right? So we did so many roles in one. I think that was the best thing that I got out of working here. That's the contrast.
I don't know why. So I did this same thing happened to me. So when friends of mine graduated from business school and they went into, let's say, work for the top uniform company or Procter & Gamble or whatever, they probably went into one department. And of course, they have a rotational training program as well. But when I came here, I went to work for a startup. And I'm like, second to the CEO, branding person, marketing person. Like, I don't know, maybe that was me where I put myself. So I was doing like a lot of things. Like, but like, I'm going to a meeting with our CEO to meet another vice president who's like, a graduate from Harvard or something in the DIFC. But back in Canada, I would not have that opportunity.
It also depends, I think.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, so I think it also depends on what type of work you're doing.
Maybe,
So if you're in tech, US is the place to be.
Right,
I
yeah.
would agree. Right. I mean,
Yeah,
For sure.
if I'm going to be
Very good
anything in tech, I would want to go to this.
Yeah.
Right.
This is very, very good point.
So then if you are in maybe in your line of work, you would learn somewhat of things while you're there.
Right.
And then you will apply it here. So there's a contrast.
I worked in multiple startups. And one of the startups I was working with, I used to encourage this guy. Like, he had like ideas that were out there, way out there. Like, we were talking, like, I remember with him, like, we were supposed to pitch something to Dubai police. He had a loyalty program, right? So he wanted to pitch that to Dubai police, but he's very smart. Bless him. He said, okay, how am I going to pitch this to Dubai police? So I created this pitch, and tomorrow we're meeting Dubai police. We're going to present to them. We actually presented to, may Allah bless him, he's gone now. He's passed on, General Medina, who was second in command after General Dahi Khalfan. But then he was promoted, and General Dahi Khalfan was taking a little bit of it. So we presented to him. But this guy, one day before, changed the whole pitch. He said, you know what? Why would Dubai police be interested in a loyalty program, right? So he said, okay, we're going to go and talk to them about their interest. So we were talking about Dubai roads. Dubai police had this vision of 0 deaths per 100,000 people, because Dubai apparently had a very high number. So he said, okay, look, what we'll tell them is you can reward people based on their driving history. So, Dubai police does this. Like, they haven't done this recently. I've not seen this. They'll follow somebody for like, I don't know how they do this. They'll follow you. They'll give you a certificate and give you 1,000 dirhams. His idea that he took to them, and obviously they might be already been thinking about this as well on their own as well. But he said, like, look, why don't you reward them with loyalty points that they can then go and redeem at Sheriff DG and Emirates and stuff. Like, I was thinking like, it's Dubai police. Why would they want to be like commercial like that? But they were very receptive to the idea. And actually, they've introduced white points now. Not in the same way. They've introduced it that if you got black points, you can take it off. And I still remember, I think they introduced some points that you could go and redeem with.
For actual stuff.
Yeah, for actual stuff.
So
I don't remember.
Is it still going on, you say?
I think he's still doing it because his thinking was, and it was rooted in psychology, the carrot and stick approach. So what's the approach in Dubai to get people to drive better? We've got fines. We've got, like, the fine went from 200 dirhams to 600 dirhams. I still remember a friend of mine called me and like he said year before he got 6 fines and he paid 1,200 dirhams. And then he said this year it's 1,800 dirhams with 3 fines. Now he's driving well. So the stick approach worked. But then he said, okay, let's introduce the carrot approach too. Reward the people who are maintaining a clean record. So why don't we get them to, come up with something?
I think that's Dubai's superpowers. They create good systems that enable all the residents, the expats, the locals, everyone to just come up with a output that works for everyone. Recently, Dubai has introduced mandatory parking at the airport, right? Initially, I wasn't very happy.
What's mandatory parking at the airport?
Mandatory parking is that now if you go and you want to pick up somebody at the
you
airport,
can't drop people off.
You can't. You have to go to the parking.
Agree.
really?
Agree.
I
I agree. 100% agree.
I was unhappy, but man, you know what that has done? Everyone has become efficient because you need to pay a little bit of money, but now what they do is you people who are going to pick up the passengers, they coordinate with them and they make sure that their trip is efficient. They park for less amount of time. They go out later. They pay maximum 5 dirhams, so it's not heavy on the pocket. But it just makes a beautiful system. But previously, people used to park for a long time, occupy more spaces, and just pick them up at the random.
But I think that's not what they were trying to solve, though, by the way.
But that's a beautiful side effect that has happened.
Hold on. You're talking about they would park for a long time. If they're parked there, they're paying anyways, right? What the change is actually doing is during rush peak season, you can't get into the terminal because everything's backed up. Because people are doing that lay-by drop-off, right? So, okay, this is brilliant, right? Thank you for bringing this up. 2007, I'm with a friend. We're carpooling, and he had to drop somebody off. Fine. We go to the airport. We drop them off, and here's what he did. He got off to meet them off. Hugging. Policeman, fine. He's like, this guy's from England. He's like, oh, no. He took the paper. We read some Arabic. I think I told him there's no fine. Next day he said, no, there was a fine. Fine. So see, police is solving that problem when people are coming in to the airport and seeing people off. No, that's a quick drop and go because you're causing a lot of traffic. Now, they would fine you. They've done that for 10 years. So now we're all trained. If I stop there, I keep a door open. So he knows I'm taking bags out. And I tell the guy, okay, see ya. Like, listen, you want me to come in? I got to park my car. I am not standing here because the policeman. But you know what? They figured even this doesn't work. Because people, one, they double park.
Yeah.
They don't park correctly. So wo jo lag hai na, piche chal raha hai. People are missing flights because of that.
And
So
if you
now
think
that's not
about
gonna
it,
happen.
and if you think about it, now they have basically automated the systems. Because now you don't need the police to police the stuff, but
you
it's
go.
automatically being policed.
Oh, that's brilliant, by the way. That's really good.
So
I agree with that because have you ever tried to fly out of Lahore?
yes.
Have you seen that forklift? No, have you seen that? Forget the checklist. After that,
Oh, the
have you
forklift
seen
that
the
removes the
forklift
cars? Oh, yeah.
picking up
yeah.
cars? Bless them.
Yeah.
And you like done that.
No, same thing in Karachi.
Subhanallah, yaar.
By the way, you mentioned startup culture.
Yeah.
I think Dubai is a startup city.
Now, 2023.
Yeah, even starting 2000 onwards. They do everything in a very agile way. You'll have a two-lane highway.
Okay.
Then you'll have a 4-lane highway.
Right.
Then you'll have roundabouts. Then you'll have traffic signals.
You mean
and then you'll
they'll
have
change
interchanges.
They'll change it as they need.
As in need. So that's a very agile way of doing things, right?
Right.
So you'll have a capacity planning built into this.
Right.
As things grow, I haven't seen that in other.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if they've got
you don't see that.
fully perfected capacity planning, but they adjust.
But
They
for-
adjust.
But we have to realize
Look,
something. You know
guys.
that 10x growth
Yeah,
in population.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen all
That
over the
doesn't-
world.
By the way,
so it's a huge challenge, but they're doing
so
it very
do you know Dubai municipality? They're building the city from what I wrote when I wrote my first book. Plug. The real estate investor, the intelligent real estate
Here we
investor.
go,
Get it on
guys,
Amazon.
ladies and gentlemen.
They were making plans for 9.5 million residents.
Yeah, they are.
Acha, you've read this?
Yeah.
Acha, bless you.
So, sorry. So, just a couple of things, right? So, this I completely agree with.
Right.
Dubai is very
Thank you for waiting patiently. sir.
agile and dynamic,
Yeah.
and they assess situations and they make decisions in, I wouldn't say instantaneously, but it's very quick.
Yeah.
As an example, I can tell you when I landed in the UK in 2005, the UK government was considering a third runway for Heathrow. We still don't have a third runway anywhere.
No,
in
they
London.
did, but they did
Oh,
open
man.
something else that British Airways was running. What was that? When there was a disaster, people lost their luggage. Do you remember this? In London,
In COVID, just now.
no. Pre-COVID, they opened an airport, and have a look, Google it. They opened an airport, then there was a disaster. British Airways had British Airways was running the airport.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't remember. But I mean, I'm
It
just
was
saying-
London, by the way.
See, London has four or five airports anyway, right? So
Right.
just goes without saying. Obviously, there's a lot of traffic coming in, air traffic.
2008, British Airways says Terminal 5 fiasco to cost 32 million.
Yeah.
That the British Airways said on Thursday that the chaotic opening of London Heathrow Airport's new Terminal 5 was set to cost the airline blah blah blah. So I think they were running it. So
Yeah,
they
so
opened one-
Terminal 5 at
Yes.
London Heathrow is dedicated to British Airways. So it's like
Right.
Terminal 3 for Emirates.
Emirates.
Okay.
So that's the same way.
So it's not a new runway.
No, it's not a new runway. A new runway will change the, obviously the dynamics and allow them to handle more
So
air
they still
traffic.
don't have one.
But what I'm saying is, but there are different reasons for it. So I'm not actually dissing, that decision-making process. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. Okay.
It's delayed for sure.
Right,
And then there
yeah.
were supposed to be another, like a train line called HS2
Right.
from London to Birmingham, which was supposed to cut down travel time significantly. That didn't happen as well. But there's lots of environmental kind of protests, and residents were up in arms as well about the path it'll go through and the sound pollution and so on. Those were the reasons why it got delayed. But here in Dubai, subhanAllah, in so many places, like we used to live in Mudan,
Right.
and that there's a lot of traffic there. So now you can see the whole place is being changed, right? So they've taken away the roundabout, which was also very recent, and now they're bringing in, alternatives to make the traffic flow faster.
Alhamdulillah.
One more thing on the growth of Dubai, again, in terms of the vision that they come up with, not a lot of places firstly come up with visions, right? So that's the first thing. Secondly, the recently released, the D33, so doubling the Dubai economy by 2033.
Oh, I didn't know this.
That's a very ambitious plan and an amazing plan, right? So as part of that, they actually have something called Sandbox Dubai. Sandbox Dubai is for local, is to promote new commercial technologies and allowing them to establish themselves and to grow globally. So all of that, or those things are in the collective minds of local leadership. So it's very, very interesting times for Dubai, no doubt.
So I work in the government, right? It's a semi-government.
Right.
It's basically the first e-learning accredited higher education institution in the region. And the chairman of the board of governors of our university is Dahi Khalfan, who was the Dubai police chair as well. The commercialization is kind of a part of our DNA. Trying to do public-private partnerships and commercialization, it's built in. So we are pushed to that, to do that on a daily basis. So that's something that is, I think that's where the US work and the Dubai work difference comes in. That in Dubai, you have this opportunity to just grow. And in US and other probably more established places, that the systems are a little bit more tight and focused and policy oriented. You can't really go much beyond those. But that also now another interesting thing, we teach quality management, and Japan is known as the guru of quality management. However, recently Japan has stagnated because too much focus on the policies and processes creates analysis paralysis. Same thing what's happening with the Heathrow airport. But you see, even now Dubai hasn't reached that stage. They keep everyone on their toes within the government, within the private sector, and not through sticks. Right?
Things change fast here.
Yeah.
Faster iterations, you're saying.
Let's talk about how you guys have. You wanted to jump in?
Just one last thing,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So again, on the vision for Dubai. Now, don't quote me, and I guess your viewers can look it up themselves. It's out there in the open, the D33 plan. So there's something called Dubai 10x or something. I don't know if I'm getting it right.
Accelerators, 10x accelerators. Yep.
Yeah, that's it, right? And they're looking to beat the leading cities by 10 times.
Right. So Dubai's gone from trading hub, attractive to some people, the Indian, Pakistani diaspora, Bangladesh, and the people who are generally in the East. Yes, we know 80s, 90s, very popular, 70s, 80s, 90s, to being a brand, reaching a tipping point. Now, honest to God, from a real estate perspective, Dubai is competing with the big cities. New York, London. Like if you look at a broker who's working in London with high net worth individuals, there's no way he's not also working in Dubai, because those individuals, those billionaires who wanted a piece of London or New York now want Dubai as well. Like recently, there have been transactions here like for 400 million dirhams. 450 million dirhams, like unheard of apartments sold like before. Okay, you take into account inflation and the dollar's not the same anymore, but this was not. Like the last year, we've seen records getting broken. Like, so the last agent, like Chris, he held his record for 16 years. He sold the most expensive villa on the Palm, 16 or 10 years or something. Just last year alone, we had 300 million dirham villa sell. We had 450 now, an apartment sold. Like back in the day, I would hear only Monaco would have these. Like, so Dubai is now to that stage where it's competing as one of the top 10 cities in the world.
Yeah, still considered cheap from a ultra high net worth individual.
From a real estate
right?
perspective, it's much less, but it's
Yeah.
it's going up very fast now.
A personal story related with this. I have, in the last 1 year, about 3 different family friends from Canada who have told me that they want to move to Dubai.
Right.
I've had a family friend who actually has come to Dubai, is working as a teacher, and wants to explore continuing over here. Another family friend who is recently here, and he actually wants to enter into the real estate industry, and one more as well. So these are 3 real families from Canada who want to move to Dubai. So that we talked about Pakistan and India, Dubai, chalo Dubai. That's happening now
From the West.
From the West. But can we not have more competition for FD Global, please? So anybody,
No, that's all right.
no more entrance to real estate.
Yeah, he'll join him.
More people that
Creates
would
a
raise
market.
the industry standards and
Yeah.
create better benchmarks is good for everybody, right? Let's talk about Dubai's evolvement. Like, what is there something key that you have found? कि यार ये this stuff has changed in Dubai. You know how it has evolved, like in your mindset. Like, okay, not just like the real estate, but something else that for you has changed. Demographic, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
So more people from different nationalities here now.
Yeah, I mean, look,
So let's
it's a melting pot, right? So it always has been a melting pot. It's just the variations of the,
It's a melting point pot nahi hai वैसे, by the way.
No, yeah, I think it is.
You know what they call, right? They call the US the great melting pot because you go there, you become American.
Okay.
Canada was the mosaic.
Okay.
You go there, you keep your own traditions.
Yeah.
Dubai
So,
mein
sure.
kaise melting hai?
Sure. I mean, look,
that's
you can
na.
argue. You can argue. Yeah. You
Na
can
that's
argue.
it.
Okay, I'll
Kisko
tell you.
melting pot?
Chup te karna.
वापस भी मार दिया यार.
Aja, it's okay.
So the thing is, okay, I would agree with you. It's a melting point at a point of time.
Right.
Once you are there, and if you are staying there forever. You become part of the fabric, right?
Right.
So you're not melting anything. So melting, from my aspect, is you are there. You're disrupting your thought process coming into a society, economy, whatever. You are providing a input, and it's changing. And so
You're talking about the US or Dubai?
U.S. right?
Okay.
So the reason why Dubai is a constant in a melting pot is because of the changing demographic.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever good or bad you can say, let's say if there is a world event, guess where everyone converges? Here,
Dubai, yeah.
right? So that's one thing. Even when COVID happened, where did people first start?
Yeah,
going?
because Dubai maintained that openness, that ability to
Right.
come for you to
Right.
come and travel.
Exactly.
I had clients like father was in France, he was in China. He can't go from China to France. France can't go to China. China just opened up, by the way, 3-4 months ago, probably. So they met in Dubai. Melting pot. No, what I was talking about was the specific situation where people don't lose their identity. Like US में जब जाते हैं ना, they say American. Canada में ना, even now when you meet people, they say I'm Greek Canadian. I'm Pakistani Canadian. They don't
Yeah.
lose their
Okay.
Greekness of Pakistani.
I see.
Dubai maybe I think still people say I'm from Pakistan. I'm from India. समझ में क्या कह रहा हूँ?
Yeah, I know.
That's what I
The
meant.
big
But you-
identity question. Yeah.
But you're saying
no,
that you've
I'm-
seen that evolve as more
Yeah.
demographically diverse people have
Diverse
come here?
people have come in. I mean, there has always been peaks and troughs of people coming and bringing their flavors into the economy. Recently with the whole Ukraine,
Crisis,
Russia
yeah.
crisis, all of that stuff, we've seen a big influx, right? So this has always been the case. Even in the 90s, I think there was a little bit of a time when Russians started trading, and that was
Yeah.
a peak as
Yeah,
well.
but when the USSR
The-
became 12, 13 countries.
Yeah, the breakup.
Yeah.
The breakup happened. So, case in point, this is, I think, is going to be a constant for us. We're living in
The
Dubai.
evolving of Dubai. Okay,
Yeah.
bless you. So you see that as a change, and that change is going to continue to change.
It
Okay.
is, yeah. But that's how the whole economy is
Yeah,
structured at the
Agree.
moment, if you look at it.
Asad?
I don't have probably anything on change, but since COVID was brought about, I think when COVID happened, it was a survival problem for Dubai because Dubai was also heavily based on tourism, right?
Right.
Now, if you open up tourism, you bring in more people, that spreads COVID more. So it was a
Potentially, yeah.
catch-22 situation.
Right.
And I think Dubai brilliantly handled that because they enforced some rules. They enforced masks. They enforced other systems and rules,
Right.
due to which people were comfortable coming here. Both people who were COVID believers or COVID deniers. but you see the whole
Vaxxers or
vaxxers,
Vaxxer or
anti-vaxxers,
non-vaxxer, yeah.
all
all
them.
come in.
But people did come in,
Right.
and Dubai was the one of the first ones to open up,
Right.
and still people were comfortable coming in because people were wearing masks in the malls,
Right. Yeah.
and COVID was not spreading, and as I said, it was a survival for Dubai, and they passed it with flying colors.
Right. Mashallah.
So those I mean, I think they get 10 out of 10 for that.
Sadi.
So you can cut this out. I'm going to take time on this one.
No worries.
I'll start with
Timing हमारे पास थोड़ी सी वो है 30 minutes थे.
Tight.
20 minutes. 20 minutes in total. It's okay. Go for it.
So I was going to start with Abba's statement, right? So my
Right.
father's statement, where he
Right.
said, living in this city, I suppose I've seen so much change in my life that if I was anywhere else in any part of the world, it wouldn't have been possible, right? So, and I think obviously the same thing for all our
Correct,
parents,
yeah.
right? So Dubai has actually changed from every aspect, right? Right from, the roads and transportation and logistics and, technology. So first thing is the size has expanded massively.
That's a
So
good
as
point,
we
actually.
started off, we said the key areas were Jumeirah, Karama, Ghasais, Shahab Colony,
Yeah.
these places, right?
The
Rashidiyah
only
maybe.
thing that survived was the Ravi restaurant. But go on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ravi.
Yeah.
But now, size-wise, I think Dubai, at some point will probably use up all of its space, right? For urban development, maybe. I know in the Dubai master plan they have actually set aside a space for national parks.
It's no,
Right,
no,
a
it's
green-
conservation.
Yeah,
So
conservation
they're not going to continue building
on those
out into the
spaces.
desert. It's 60% is now just marked.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And to Hadi's point, population has actually not only increased but has become more diverse. Right.
Yeah.
So previously, I think there was a lot of concentration of certain nationalities. Now that's changed significantly. And the last thing I'm going to say is, I mean, we've always said Dubai is a place of superlatives, right? So the biggest this and the biggest that. It started with DSF, and we had the longest cake, and we had
Longest
this,
cake,
and
yeah.
I
you know,
was there
biggest
for the
sofa.
longest
Were
cake.
you there for the
It was
longest
the
cake?
best cake.
yeah,
I
you
went
remember
in
that?
it. Yep.
Were
yeah,
you there?
I
went
went.
in
Were you there?
Yeah, and then there
You
was
were
a
there.
rumor that said there's gold coins in this
No,
cake,
no.
and
Bhai,
people just
Nissan
went
petrol ka
berserk.
chabi hai andar.
Oh, yes,
This was on the
Allahu
creek. The
Akbar.
one on the creek, right?
It was
Yeah,
on the
on the
creek.
creek. Yeah,
So
just
no,
went
next
on.
to the Sheraton. Now what is it called?
Yeah,
Superpowers
Sheraton
or
Intercon.
whatever.
It went on
Intercon.
So
for
Sheraton's
one
still
point-
there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheraton's still there.
Yeah,
The first
so
Sheraton in
that
Dera.
Cake
Dera, yeah.
was, I think, 1.2 kilometers cake.
Yeah,
It
something like that.
started
So
in
just for the
Sheraton.
viewers, Dubai intending to beat the world's record for the longest cake, built a date cake.
That's right.
And it was on many tables. I was not there. I was playing cricket. But my family was there. I was like somewhere else. It was on 2nd December. So I was playing a 2nd December tournament. But I remember what got leaked amongst the masses. And this is the time when, so I want to jump into something. Dubai, for me, one of the evolvements has been that Dubai now has a lot of opportunity for entertainment. Back then it was like you go to a park, maybe you go to, malls weren't there, right? Maybe the movie theater or something. But so when you announce the longest cake getting built, all of Dubai comes.
Yeah.
Back then, like you were there.
Yeah,
Were you
oh, yeah.
there? So there we go.
There you
I
go.
was not there, but my brother, my father, my sister, I think my brother were there.
We
I was
got a
just because
big-
I was at a tournament.
No,
Playing cricket.
we actually had a big blob of cake brought to her place.
Did you get
Yeah,
something?
yeah. it was just, I can't remember.
Did you
who-
have it?
Who brought?
I had it.
I had
was
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was good, yeah.
No, actually, my bit was a bit hard, but I mean, I was okay with it. It was
You
cake.
probably got the
We
bad
loved
section.
it. No,
Was it?
it's-
It was a date cake. Yeah? That's what I knew.
I don't remember what it was,
Acha,
but it
what-
was cake. I liked it.
But the police there, the policemen, poor guys,
Bless
bless
them.
them. They couldn't control the crowd, so they just
Subhanallah.
people just broke over the barriers.
Because once they heard there's Nissan petrol keys inside.
yeah.
Or
Was it
gold coin.
petrol? I remember
That's
it
what I
being
heard.
Range Rover.
Well, the rumor.
I just heard
The-
gold
the rumor
coins or
could be
something.
anything.
Could
Such
be
a
anything.
bad rumor, man.
And then, and I
Astaghfirullah.
audited the biggest biryani, by the way. So when I was back in KPMG, we were actually asked to audit the quantity that went in so that the Guinness Books of World Records.
So you
could
were the
actually-
auditors to take care and make sure that the biryani was actually the biggest biryani?
Yeah.
Who
so-
did this?
When was this?
So it was a tie-up between Emirates
was that?
Abella, so the Emirates catering company,
Okay.
and Intercontinental Hotel.
Okay.
So there was, kilos of rice, I think tons of rice, and then there was meat, and there was, I remember there's 5 kilos of saffron, 5 kilos of saffron in that biryani. And anyway, so
Back in the day, we had the tallest, longest chair, the biggest
Oh, yeah.
side
Yeah, that's right.
bicycle. Right. It was just like metal frames, but it's the biggest. And around that place, you could also find the longest gold chain ever made.
That's right.
Right? So it was like a gold chain, the longest, but they didn't display it like long kilometers. I think it was 5-6 kilometers. They just wound it out. And I remember 2 policemen standing there with guns. You could go there at night to see it. Yeah, you could go there at night to see it. The policemen are standing and the chain is just there. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know what we were going to see, but pretty excited. But the chain was just
And you know
gold
that.
chain.
So I was saying that tradition continues with Dubai. So Dubai dreams big, and I'll just add a few examples there.
Thank
right?
you. You're right.
So one is I don't know if they'll
Go on.
if it's actually going to happen, but there was this thought around bringing an iceberg from Antarctica
Oh, yeah,
to fill the
Yeah.
freshwater needs.
Here
That-
in Dubai.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I think UAE wide. Then there was, I remember when I was in the UK, there was a thought around building a city in the air, right? So a floating city, essentially, right? So what I'm saying is
Right.
the dream is big. Now we're building a moon, right? There's some company, Canadian developers. They
Is that real? I'm supposed to be in real estate. I'm supposed to know this, but like that moon where the pearl is.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, is it just designs and just somebody just talking hot air?
But
or
that's
is it
that's how
real?
it starts, right? It's a vision.
Yeah,
You
but
come up
is-
with
it's,
it.
may I-
it's doable.
एक चीज बताऊं वैसे just one thing. If you guys notice something, right? Dubai, bless them, does the latest of what's latest in the world. So it's no longer the best thing to do, like the longest chain, the biggest cycle. Like nobody really cares about it.
Yeah.
But the museum of the future
But that's
with
how
the
they
building,
Mars.
that's how they put themselves on the map, though.
they stay
right?
ahead.
Yeah, they stay
They
ahead.
stay ahead.
So they stay relevant.
They're not
right?
gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna do something that was like 10 years ago. Like you
Yeah.
might find like they will do something that's relevant to the public image today, to keep all eyes on us. Like look at us. Like we're gonna do, and they deliver value. Like alhamdulillah.
I mean, even looking at the name, Museum of the Future, I never knew there could be a Museum of the Future.
That's a
right?
good.
It was fascinating for me to just walk in and just dream about what the next.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? It took me some time to adjust. Like I was looking
really?
at it and I was like, "Is this a real image of Mars?" Then the lady told me, "Like, listen, this is the future we're trying to show you. You're not
You're not in a
you're not on
museum.
Mars right now. This is the future."
Yeah,
Then I
exactly.
figured, oh, they're trying to show me this will be.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be.
Bless them. Yeah, may Allah bless them. Any shared experiences that you guys want to talk about?
Mm.
Well, not the most intimate ones, I guess.
I remember Titanic. You remember Titanic? We went for Titanic.
Oh.
Did we go for Titanic?
Al Nasser Cinema.
Yeah.
Al-Nasser Cinema.
Were you
It was
there?
like iconic. I wasn't there with that entire group that went. I went with a couple of other friends. Like the iconic one was Al-Nasser Cinema and Strand Cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people would give directions based on Strand Cinema.
Yeah.
Remember, we had no GPS. Come to Strand Cinema, then take a left.
Bro, Al Nasser Leisureland.
Al Nasser Leisureland. Yeah, that's a shared
You're
experience.
right.
Yeah, we've attended a lot of stuff in Al Nasser Leisureland.
We were supposed to do a fashion show on ice.
Yeah,
remember?
you and me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we got
You-
selected.
you-
I don't know why, but
And we got trained
actually,
as well.
yeah, I do know why, because we both good looking. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillah. That's it. But it didn't happen finally. I think they chucked us out.
I
because
don't
of
know
that.
what was going on.
Shared experience. We went for the table tennis tournament.
You
from our
and me,
school.
yeah, that's true.
right.
That's true.
That was fun. Another shared experience. The farewells that we organized for our
Oh yeah.
our
Yeah, for the seniors.
for the seniors.
Oh, our
Neem Hakim.
Neem Hakim.
Oh, that's right, Neem Hakim. No, but our farewell was actually pretty cool as well. It was the first time I think we did it outside Pakistan Association,
Yeah.
right? And we did it in Al Wasl.
Arrived in the limousine.
And we
Yeah.
rented
Yeah.
limousines. And
Yeah, we hired limousines. Like that wasn't the
That was-
tradition back
That was
then.
the highlight of my,
Yeah.
senior five. I
Your
guess.
academic
it was,
career.
It was.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It was all
Alhamdulillah.
downhill.
But the
after that.
video's lost somewhere. I haven't seen
Somewhere.
the video in a very, very long time.
I think someone.
I will
has-
come back to it. Let's talk about you guys with your personal aspirations now. May Allah bless you all. You guys have kids. What are your personal aspirations for the next 5-10 years? You can share if you want to. If you don't want to, then that's also okay.
I think I want to my 5 to 10 year roadmap. If we're talking about personal aspirations, is going to be contributing back to UAE.
Yeah.
However I can. Right now, obviously, my life's purpose has been healthcare. Ever since I graduated till today. But I think I now need to give a bit more.
Give back to the UAE, man. Allah bless you. Actually, you know something? Iske upar na, I've been thinking about this for the last 2-3 years as well, right? Like, sometimes there's a lot of people who say there's no tax, but there is tax, right? Because you're renewing your visas or there's SALIC and all of that. And then as a business, of course, we pay VAT. And you're always thinking like, should I pay VAT? What should I do, et cetera, et cetera. And I think about this, right? I think Dubai is giving us this great experience to live here. Why not pay them? Why not? Like sometimes, like generally speaking, I take SALIC routes now just to save time. But there was a time when I used to think like, shall I take a non-SALIC route, right?
Mhm.
And now I'm like, okay, now I'll take it because the money goes to them and they put it back to help us with the
Yeah.
roads and everything. So it's good. It's good. Let it flow. Of course, I'm in real estate, so I like the money flowing around in the
Yeah,
economy,
but-
right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's
But what I'm actually referring to is how do I collectively contribute towards the vision of UAE, like
Right.
2030, 2050? What are the things that we can bring in as individuals? We've learned from the West. We've learned what we can do here. We've failed, quite a bit of times, And now I think it is time to also help other institutions that are coming up is to impart some of the information that we've gathered, experiences, so on. Obviously, we won't be at their level, at their pace, but we can definitely impart a lot of knowledge there and advice, etc., etc.
That's a good point, actually. You know, Dubai could tap into that. Like, we are invested into Dubai more than just for the money.
Yeah.
सही कह रहा हूँ, गलत कह रहा हूँ? You know,
yeah, for sure.
so Dubai could tap into that and say, like, guys, like, how can we utilize your energy, your know-how, your specialties to actually add value? Like, can you be part of this startup? Like, can you do that? Can you? Because you guys are actually, because actually we are invested.
Lifelong expats.
Yeah, we're well. I personally think, look, Dubai's already introduced residency 10 years and citizenship as well. Like, people already have citizenship. I think that's going to trickle down. Like, we might be like in a couple of years, 6 months, 5 months. I don't know. It's going to happen. I've been saying this for a long time, right? But this is not the topic. The point I'm trying to make is, like, we came back. That speaks to some loyalty to the area. It wasn't just for family. It just wasn't for money. Like, you know, we could be making money anywhere. Like, we came back because we wanted to come back. And Dubai could actually pivot that, leverage that. That here's a generation that's come back. Let's utilize them for something that would benefit Dubai in greater strides. You know, you're already doing that because you're working with the government. You're working with semi-government.
No, actually,
I'm doing my part. I'm helping real estate market.
That's true. So Hadi's healthcare, Asad is education.
Right.
I'm nowhere, but
No.
you know, finance.
But you own us.
Yeah,
You what?
you own
You
us.
own us.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Probably
That's
somehow
right.
indirectly.
Just to make sure you guys are doing your job properly.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, but aspirationals are, you know, to your question. Firstly, they're quite local, right? So I mean, as in for the next 5-10 years, you'd actually want to see yourself having a stable base in Dubai. Even with you know, even if you have kids going abroad for education or all of that, you'd still want to know that, you know, this is the base. Now, I don't think I can follow on from what Hadi said in terms of, you know, contributing to the overall economy and to the vision. But I think personal aspiration is to actually, yeah, obviously we're talking about from a real estate perspective as well, establish a home, you know, have something, lay your roots, you know, kind of here. Even if you don't have to stay here, it's a good investment opportunity. So why let it go? You're in the country, you're in the city, and not to avail that opportunity would be, you know, going amiss. You don't want to regret it, right? So, you know, eventually.
Yeah, for sure. Alhamdulillah. Would you like your children to study here, or would you like them to actually study abroad and then come back?
Yeah,
Loaded question, man.
Good,
Loaded
yeah,
question.
good question. And for me, the
Loaded question.
personal aspirations were more about my kids, right, rather than rather
Right.
than myself now.
Oh, sorry, I never
So-
came to you for that.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
sorry.
so but you segued into that because I was going to talk about kids. I was
Right.
going to talk about my higher education plans for them, my career plans for them. I want them to be entrepreneurial, and so on. And higher education, I'm still making decisions whether they'll go to higher education in UAE or will I send them abroad. And sending them abroad, probably I'm talking about US, Canada, UK, Australia. The purpose would be for them to come back for sure, because it's getting the best of both, the best of Dubai and the best of the other area as well, but then coming back because I believe actually geopolitically speaking, there's going to be a lot of growth over here.
Still,
So,
yeah. So
yeah.
what do you guys think for the next 5-10 years for Dubai? Where do you think Dubai is going? Next 5, 10, 20 years. By the way, do you know His Highness's vision? Well, I don't know it personally. Like, there's a book he's written, right? Ru'yati, My Vision. I haven't read it. I have the English translation. But I've heard an interview of his with somebody from CNN. I forget his name. It's online. And he asked, like, what do you... And the guy, the interviewer asked His Highness, like, what do you want for Dubai? And he said, I want to be number one. in everything.
Mm.
Number one in healthcare, number one in standard of living, number one in happiness. And then he said, like, why do you want it in 20 years? Why do you want it fast? And he said, why not? I don't want my people to wait 50 years to get there. I want it now.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
So I mean, if you talk about
And he trickles his vision down, by the way, right?
yeah.
Of course.
So 5 to
I
10
know that.
years, taking what you just said.
Yeah, that was a
and,
question.
And looking at diversification happening.
Right.
Guess where everyone is going to just come and organically build that vision and take it to a next level. So now we are already talking about UAE being the AI hub.
Are we?
Yeah.
We have a
absolutely.
minister of artificial
Yeah.
intelligence.
Who has a minister of
Right.
artificial intelligence? We
Who
do.
has a minister of happiness? I mean, this
Exactly.
is-
So
Is it possible that they will go fast on AI than the rest of the world? Is that
I don't think
possible?
it's going to go
So-
faster. I think it goes toward, Asad mentioned earlier, we are going to bring in a lot of the technology that's in the West and hone it more. So they are far ahead, right? So we're going to get that here because we have a lot of the people already amalgamating from the East and from the West. This is the center point. We're going to be here.
Okay. That's Hadi's opinion, that it's going to go faster.
I'll
Asad?
tell you something interesting.
Yeah.
I think moving forward, it's no longer about countries or regions. It's about these corporations, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Apples, and so on, the Microsofts, right? And these organizations are going to try to relocate to whatever is the most business conducive environment.
Okay, so you
and
see that happening in
I
Dubai?
see that happening.
Now,
so
this
even though the
time.
technology, Hadi, it's going to be developed somewhere else, it's going to start coming over here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I see
More-
that
We're going
happening in
to
the
we're
next
going
5
to
years.
do another podcast around AI and tech because it requires more time. Parting words from Sadi.
So very quickly on that point, right? So the interesting thing is, you know, again, linking technology to Dubai. Very soon after ChatGPT came out, became known. So I was just driving to work and I was listening to Dubai AI, right? And they had somebody senior from Dewa, and it was only a few days, and you know the message was we're already adopting ChatGPT for some of our processes,
Right.
And this is actually an implementation of the vision of leadership,
Right.
So
Alhamdulillah.
as technologies get released, early adoption of these technologies to see how they can better serve the community,
Right.
you know, that's
I think we're going to go there, and I think we're going to be faster, alhamdulillah. But I want to thank you guys for being here, sharing your history, your background, your childhood stories. More stories to come, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, from you guys, especially on not just the tech part, but other stuff is that we're going to discuss. But I want to take this few moments just to thank you very much for your time, Mr.
Thank you for
Hadi,
having us.
Thank you for
Asadullah,
inviting
and
us.
Sadi, alhamdulillah.
thank you for having us.
There's one person who wasn't able to join us today. Next time we'll have him as well.
Yes.
And as is the tradition we have at our podcast, we have gifts for people who attend with us. Woo. Can I pass this on? All right, so let's pass these on, please. We are not actually. Can we not use the bags?
Oh yeah,
Here you go. Yeah,
this looks
Yeah,
better.
This is yours.
That's yours.
Yeah, pass it on.
Thank you very
Okay, thank you very much.
This is mine.
It's the same. It's the same. There is no difference. He's gonna try to figure out.
names written on.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, they do?
Oh, there's
Yeah.
another one.
So this
Okay.
is the right box.
It's
You
okay.
got the
We'll
right
change it.
box.
We'll change it.
got the right
This. We need his box. Yeah, I'm pretty.
that's-
It's okay. We'll get you.
okay,
yours.
that's
Don't worry. Yeah. All right. That's the wrap.
Let
We
me
can
correct
still
that.
continue rolling while they open. Okay. You guys can open. Give him his.
All
All
right.
right. That's Asadullah. Here you go. Can I take that one back,
I'll
please?
give this to Harun.
No.
This he's not even giving it to me.
I don't know what's.
All right.
Okay.
Are we doing it
Together.
Are we doing this?
All right.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead. We're
Bismillah.
still
I'm doing it.
rolling.
I'm doing it.
Bismillah ar-Rahman.
Okay. Am I supposed to read this? It's going to be very emotional.
No, it's not going to be
Okay.
emotional. It's okay.
All right,
We can help you open it
There you
out. I can use it for you.
It's a thank you card.
Thank you card. Is it thank you? What is it saying? Break it to us. Thank you for crying
Thank
out
you,
loud.
Father.
Oh, handwritten.
Is it
Yes.
handwritten?
Yes.
Wow, check you out, man.
Handwritten. Can
Is
I
it-
open yours?
Did you chat
Handwritten, but
did you chat
generated
GPT?
by ChatGPT or generated
No,
by
I wrote.
Fahd
No,
GPT?
I wrote this.
Okay.
I The
Fahd
words
GPT.
are mine.
The words are yours.
The words.
Yes.
Can I read my own? Where's yours?
Yes,
Where's
please.
mine?
This is yours. You can read it. One of you can read it.
May you be blessed with health, wealth, and family. Thank you sincerely for sharing your valuable insights and experience. I'm humbled and grateful for the time you gave and the trust. Sincerely, Fahd Dawood.
ChatGPT.
No, that was not ChatGPT.
No,
Trust
that's-
me, that was not
That's not. right.
ChatGPT.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Okay,
So-
let's do
Okay,
this.
right. So
I saw it. I
You
saw a
did?
glimpse.
What did you? What is it?
really,
You're going to love it.
What is it?
You're going to love
it's a red box. Oh.
Oh.
Is this giving us a message that we should smell better?
Oh
I think you all smell awesome and great.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
This is great. Okay, so can we have the other box as well? Because I might just take the other one.
Sure, no
Alright.
problem. You can have whatever box you want.
There we go. Jazakallah khair.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for
Thank you
being
for
here.
this very nice
Jazakallah
visit.
khair.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you.
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
me.
We do it. All right, that's a wrap, guys. We'll have these guys back, inshallah. Share in the comments what you found good, what you found we could improve on. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. And obviously, if you got real estate questions as well, don't forget, you can ask me in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to answer. But I hope today's been a good journey. It's been for us going down memory lane in Dubai with Dubai with the Dubai journey and history. I hope you've garnered and enjoyed the journey as well. Catch us again next time soon. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Ciao. See you.
See you.
Take care.